everybody, welcome to Petra's Happy Place. Today I'm in my studio or yarn room or catch-all room, whichever one you want to refer to it as. My name is Petra and today we are going to be talking about some crochet. So I wanted to give you a little catch up on things. For those of you that were praying for a job for me, thank you so much. I did accept one and I started last week. I will be continuing next week full time, and it's good. It's going to be a good change, I think. So I apologize if it feels a little blown out. Let me see here. See if I can get it. Yes, that's a little bit better. And I apologize for the reflection on the glasses. I can't help it. I need them. And I can't wear contacts. So, for those of you that have not watched my previous videos, I have started this journey on talking about what I've been working on. And I try to have several different types of projects on my hook each week. Now, it doesn't always happen, but that's what I'd like to happen. And now that I'm starting up a job, I'm not sure how easily that will take place. I won't get a whole lot done during the week as I have normally, not normally, but have been in the last several weeks. So let me start off with telling you that is not supposed to look like that. That is a stack of unused bags of all kinds. And as you can see, I have quite a few. Some of them are handbags that I use for, going out, my daily, going out places. Some of them are whip bags. Some of them are just bags. Call me a bag lady. I don't know. But those are my bags. And I've even got my crocheted ones hanging up on the wall. This is a perfect location for me to be able to show you. I have these they're pegs, okay? And this has been in my craft room since we moved here. That is one of the reasons why I chose this room as my yarn room, because of those pegs. I thought it looks like a yarn store, where they hang their hanks up on the pegs on the wall. And so that is one of the reasons why I chose this room as my room. I'm not even going to bother showing you what's in the closet. And at some point I will, show you the different, I don't know what's going on with my little camera. I hope everything is clear in the picture. There's something going on my screen. I have no idea what that is. So at some point I'll show you different sections of my yarn room. But today I want to show you what I've been working on. So yes, you can see right there in that bin. And I have two bins sitting here next to me. Have a lot of my UFOs. It has a lot of like half finished, I don't know what to do with. One bin has a lot of my just yarn stash that I've shown you before that has stuff in it, the yarn's in it, and I'm waiting to figure out what I want to do with that yarn. And I just wanted to set it aside. But as far as my UFOs, I have been working on some UFOs, and I wanted to show those first. So, the first one, I have this bag. I love this is one of my very, very favorite bags, and the reason is that my cousin made it for me, and it is just the most beautiful bag. His wife picked out these colors and this fabric because of the birds on it, and my mom was a bird lover, and it reminds me of my mom. And he designed it. He put the leather handles on it, and it's just lovely. It's got an outside pocket here, an outside pocket here, and inside it's got one. Oh, well, hello. I found a hook that I guess I was using for that project, and I didn't know it. So I better leave that out, because I might have to use it for a different project. But this is what I've been working on. I had started several of these mini Anchor the octopus, okay? I've made several of them already. This is the mini one. I have made one very large one, and I have it as a UFO that's still there. I don't remember what hook size I was using. I think it was probably this one. But I have a mini one, and I just had the tentacles made. And so this morning I whipped it out, and I got all the different parts done, and all I have to do now is sew it together. So let me show you the parts. So this is the octopus, the main body, okay? And I was using, let me see, what's this called? The Baby Bee My Sweet Love. And this is the Jumping Juniper. And it's this multicolor. And I used a green color for the actual puffers. I don't know what you call them. They're the suction cups. Okay, so this is, I have not put this eyes on it yet, so I need to do that. And of course I need to stuff it. This is the bottom of it here that gets sewn underneath like so. And then this is his head that gets sewn onto here like so. And all it's going to take me is maybe, it's less than an hour for me to sew it together, put the eyes on, and stuff it. So there we go. That is going to be finished within this week, so you won't see it again. So let me show it to you up close here. There's 8 tentacles, and I used a solid color for the suction cups, and then the multicolor. Let me see if I have the yarn band, the ball band. Oh, that's that one. No, that's not right. Oh, okay. So the solid green is the Baby Bee Sweet Delight Chunky in Baby Sage. And the other one is Baby Bee My Sweet Love in the Jumping Juniper. So there we go. And I have enough to make part of one, another small one. So again, this is the mini one, the mini octopus. Mini Anchor the octopus. And it's a paid for pattern. I think I got it online in Etsy store at Humble Child Company. Humble Child Company. Let me show you that. Down at the very bottom. Humble Child Company. Okay, so that's that one. All right. Another one that I pulled out of my UFOs, I don't know why I hadn't finished it yet, because it was, I was going to make it into a cardigan, a long vest, or maybe just a vest. I had the front panels and the back panel done. It was sewn together. That was all. And all I had to do was decide what I want to do with it. Okay, and I decided, let's see here. I decided to put sleeves on it, and I gave it a ruffle sleeve, and I put a border around it, and it looks adorable. I love it. And I used, let's see here, what was it that I used? This is one of the cakes. I don't believe they even they even make this anymore, but the Karen cotton funnel cake. And the colorway is Breeze, and I'm pretty sure I used at least 2. I might have used 3. I can't remember, but this is almost full. So, yeah, just a cute little top. I've sewn in all the ends, and this is going to be a gift, and I'm so excited to see her reaction because she has no idea I'm gifting it to her. I'm so excited. So that's another UFO done. I'm so excited. That pile back there is getting smaller and smaller. Now the other UFO that I pulled out, guys, I am really on it. I don't know what's got into me. So this is a project I started in January of 2023. It was a temperature blanket. And I was making, let me show you. So I'm making these squares. Now, Tony Lipsy did this design either in 22 or 21, where she made a square for each month, okay? And she just started, and each round is a day. So, every round or every square is going to be 32 rounds, okay? And the last round on every single one of them is white. Or for me anyway, okay, and that's the color I chose for it. And so I had my temperature, and I don't know what I did with it. No, here it is. I just used that right there. Let's see here. I'm not sure if it's showing up. Anyway, I used Stylecraft DK yarns, and I wanted it to be all pinks and purples and whites, okay? And so I did one, what's it called? Moss stitch round, and they were all moss stitch. So the first round was the first day, and around and around and around and around. Now the first thing was always white. So the center of every single square is white. And then I started with day 1 and so on and so forth. Okay, so every month, whether it had 28 days, if it had 30 days or 31, everyone ended in a white. And if it ended on, like in February the 28th, was the color. And then the 30th and 31st, which there are no days like that in February, but those were white. And then I ended with a white. So there would be 3 rounds of white on February. Anyway, this is December's. Ta-da! And I'm not done with it. I'm not done with it. So I found everything was done. This is, let's see here, October, November, December. And as soon as I finish December, I will be attaching it onto this one here, and I will have it all done. So let me show you. Now, I took a few minutes. I have a ton of ends to weave in. And so that, don't worry about that. I will take care of that. But I put them all on the back side. So let me hold this up. Find where we are. Okay. So here we are. Ta-da! So we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and September. And there's barely any difference between June, July, August, and September, because the darkest pink, this pink, is the hottest. So there's a lot of hot days in those months. And the purples were the coldest. So you could see purple, a lot of purples in January, just a couple in February, and a couple in March. And then, of course, some in November and December. Isn't that cool? So I'm so excited. All I have to do is I think about 6 more days. And I've got everything written down in a notebook, but 6 more days of rounds. I have all the yarn here in this particular bag. I'm so excited. I just want to get it done. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I want to get this done so badly. Because my plan is that this room is going to become my room, my guest room, my everything room, okay? So, and it's going to be those colors, especially, you can see I've got lavender walls. There is the lilac color, and lilac and purples are my favorite colors. And when I get that blanket done, it's going to be on the day bed that's going to be right here. I'm so excited. Now, this is room, there's room right here, but I have to move all this yarn. And it's going to be fine. I've already got a plan in mind. I've gone against this wall, you can't see it, but against this wall right here, there is room for, do you see those wire racks? I've got this one, that's 4 wide. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm terrible at this. I can't. But anyway, it's 4 wide. But this wall right here will take 3 wide. And I've got the 3 wide rack right here. So it's just going to be turned onto that side. And then underneath this is going to be another 3 wide. And I'm just going to be taking part of that apart. And all the yarn that I can, that is on hanks, I'm going to put all along that rack right there. It runs all the way down the wall and against that top and bottom racks. I am excited. And Mr. Happy even noted, he said, well, you know that what you could do is you could take however many wide this is here and measure it to this bottom rack or the bottom pins right there, and you could just take like 1 or even 2 if they are zip tied together and hang them against that, on that right there. And I went, oh, what an awesome idea. He's a genius. Anyway, and that way I can have all of my hanks hanging up on the wall like I did at the very, very beginning when we first moved here. And all the rest of the yarn will either be placed on the shelf here or on the back wall. And then all of this wall will continue to be my acrylic yarn, which is right now. So I am excited. So I'll probably be putting my wool yarn here, my cotton yarn there, and all the acrylic here. And yeah, so that's my plan. Now, if you're interested in seeing that transformation, you'll need to watch my yarn stash videos, because that's what I'm going to be doing during those yarn stash videos. I'll be showing you some of my stash, and I'm going to be placing it on those, on the actual rungs, on the pegs up there. So I hope that made sense. So back to the projects, now that I told you what I wanted to do. But anyway, that was why I wanted to finish that temperature blanket, so that it will go on my nice, beautiful day bed that I'm going to be having here. Okay? So, finished object. Now, those, I finished, like I said, I finished this, but that was a UFO. That wasn't even a whip, okay? That was a UFO I pulled out. So was that blanket and my little octopus here. So now, if you'll remember, I had talked to you about this last time, and that it was hanging a little bit too low here, and I added sleeves, and I think it turned out really nice. And this way the sleeve will hang down. See, it'll hang down here, and it will cover that open, that gaping hole right there, which didn't need to be there. So I'm excited about starting to wear that at some point. And if you are interested in knowing materials I use, go back in my previous videos and check that out. They'll be in the crochet chat videos. Now my whips, oh, this is another story, guys. All right, so I have been working on this Tunisian crochet shawl. Okay, now let me here move my hook. Nope, get caught. Okay, so if you'll recall, this was the beginning, and then it gets bigger and bigger, wider and wider, like this. Okay, now it looks really funky because it's not doesn't look the way it's supposed to. Once I block it, it will be longer this way, and it will be longer this way, and it will just stretch out, and you can see everything really nicely. But I do not have any more of this multicolor green to do another section of it. That's all I've got, okay? And I didn't want to get any more, so now I just have to finish up with this light green here. And this is, for those of you that weren't here the other day with me, it is the Vitalana, which you can't get anymore. So I didn't really show it, but it's superwash merino, linen, and silk. And yeah, that was a knit crate yarn that was used years ago. So yeah, that is, I've just got to finish up. I've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to get 18 rows, and I have plenty of yarn, so I just need to do 12 more rows, and I'll be done. Then I'll finish it off, and I'll block it. And hopefully, this is really close, but that's my fancy, and she hopefully will be modeling it the next time we're together. How's that sound? Okay, so that's coming along really nicely, and that is my mindless task. So whenever I'm watching something, if I'm watching YouTube videos or something like that, that's what I work on. I apologize for the crinkling. That's my plastic bags. Now, this last one is the one that gave me a lot of trouble. Okay, so I'm working on some socks. And the last time I was with you, or you were with me, I had a good deal of this done, okay? I had a good deal of my sock done. Now, I went ahead and put on the heel. I got the heel done, and I looked at it, and I went, no way my foot's going to fit into that. I tried it on, and it's only about an inch too small. And I tried to figure out what it was, why this wasn't working out. Now, if you recall, I had about 6 different hooks in here because I couldn't remember what size I used in the in this pattern. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to write on here now, but this is the simple socks. I think that's the name of it, but it's by Olga Paltova, and there's a tutorial and on YouTube, and there's also a written pattern on Etsy, and I loved it. I mean, I love working this. I've already made 2 pairs of socks, and I was going by this pattern, but I couldn't remember the size of the hook. It's obviously not a D. So I have to take this all the way back. Now, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just undo the heel and just add about another inch, which would be about 10 rows or rounds, and then just make a note to do the same for the second sock. I haven't decided yet what I was going to do with that. Or if I'm going to take it all out and do it all with a different hook. But since I like the way it's turning out, I think I have enough yarn, so I might just take the heel out and then just add the rows and make a note. But I'm also going to make a note on my pattern that it's the wrong hook size, and that I should use probably the E hook. I think using the E hook, which is what, a 3.25 millimeter, I think that's what that is, or 3.5, I'm not sure, but using that hook would be better, I think, than the D hook. I mean, nothing wrong with using a D hook, but it just makes it too small. So anyway, that's my whip, and that's going to be a whip for a while. That's going to be a whip for a while. But, you know, you live and learn, and you take patterns when you have them, and you make them your own. And the pattern, the tutorial that she has on YouTube, she is so good about explaining, you know, this is what a normal, like a size 7 to 8 shoe size, you know. And I will tell you that that if you did the pattern exactly the way she has it, with the recommended hook, it is going to likely be a size 8 to 9, maybe even a little bit bigger, because my aunt wears a size 11, and I think, well, she tried it on and it fits snug. I mean, it's fit snug, so it's probably about a size 10. So if you wanted it smaller, you might have to decrease your hook size. But, you know, you can alter. This is what I love about it. And I watched a video about a lady who was reviewing that particular pattern, and I tell you what, she made a comment that it's become very viral. I didn't know it was a viral pattern. It's wonderful because I think she's an amazing teacher. She you walk through it so slowly. She explains everything and it makes perfect sense. And the lady that did the review on Olga Paltova's pattern, she's a knitter, and this was the first pair of crocheted socks that she had made, and she was explaining that she went into it as a knitter trying to figure this out, and she could not figure it out. So you have to basically throw out any preconceived ideas about sock construction when you go look at this pattern, because it's genius. To me, it's just genius. And it's so easy once you get in the rhythm, so easy to do, and you could probably, if you just dedicated a whole weekend to making them, you could knock out socks in a weekend, a pair. So that's why I love them. I love them. Anyway, those are all of my UFOs that I've been working on. I have more, but I won't bother you with those right now. Those are my whips and my finished object, which was this particular top and the sweater. So for next week, or this coming week, I'm going to have to figure out another wearable. If I'm going to make another wearable, I may hold off on making one of those until I can finish the UFOs that I have started and want to get done. If I can get those knocked out, I will feel like I've accomplished so much. And so that's all I have for you today. Hopefully I'll have more to show you next week. I know it's going to be a busy work week for me, but I'm anxious to get back with you and show you all even the little things, because sometimes we got to take those, don't we? The little accomplishments that we have, we've got to show those too, just to encourage others to say that, hey, even if it's just a couple rows of something, you're working your way, forward motion, right? Forward motion. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.